first pick. And this, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the best maps right now for this version of Fnatic.
Yes, they have. This is the map that I wanted to see as the second pick. I wanted them to go to Infernal over Tomb, since on Tomb, again, we only have a couple of games that we really have seen in the league environment, so we always have to throw that in as a caveat. But again, if you have 2-0 already on one specific map and on the other one you struggle, I would always choose the stronger map first, just because if you build that 2-0 lead over your opponent, it's very likely that they are tilting a bit and you are able to take them out even on a map a bit weaker. Be it as it may, Fnatic has a good record on this map. They're currently 2-0. If you're looking at Zealots, they of course have also played Infernal, but they have only one game on the map and they have lost it. First pick for the Zealots. What are we going to see here this time? What are they going to aim for? And again, also, what does Fnatic do? Do they allow them again to get the Haka? Are we going to see the Tacita with the composition again out of Zealots, or is Fnatic willing to take one of the two away or even ban him out?
Where does Hanzo land in all of this? Will he get banned out?
Exactly.
Will Hanzo be first picked? Questions for our teams.
He is a great pick on the map, so he could definitely be chosen here by either one of them. And I would say it's more likely. I feel it's very likely that the Zealots wants him. If they can get a chance, they are going to pick Hanzo. The question is, does Fnatic have a plan to defeat Hanzo, or do they just simply take him themselves or even ban him out? And I already like the adjustments of the side on the side of the Zealots. They're switching it over to Greymane.
About it.
Don't mind that either. I would have loved a ban on Anubarak, but I don't mind a Greymane ban either, considering Fnatic's priority on him. Abathar banned out, Fnatic just staying true to it. That keeps Hanzo up, keeps Genji up, and we still have Uther available.
There it is. Hanzo again for Zealots. So for the fourth time in this series, they will have the Hanzo. So far, it's gotten a couple wins, but will he be the reason that they win the series over Fnatic?
Yeah, I really want to see what Fnatic in this case, if you ban out Abathar on this map and you already know that they want to play Hanzo, you have to have a plan. Are we going to see Genji trying to chase him down across the map again, or what are they going to play? And also, do you pick Uther at this point? Genji Uther would be a great opening for them right now. You have Dragon Blade, and they go Gul'dan first, which is of course a fantastic hero for them. But even though they don't pick Genji, they at least pick Uther. So we have them already starting again after, on the last map they picked away Hanzo, and again they pick one of the three heroes that have been the core of the Zealots gameplay away from them. They pick Uther away, and I asked this question earlier. If the healer is taken away, if Uther with the Divine Shield is gone, do you still go for the Tacita combo or maybe substitute Uther with, let's say, Rhaegar, for example? Is that something that we're going to see right now? Or is that one of those linchpin picks where the Zealots say, well, without the Divine Shield, without Uther for the burst heal, we are going into a different setup?
I am curious myself, too.
I think they're going to go for Tacita again.
But what support do they get with it? Is it going to be the Ariel? Will she come out of the woodwork suddenly? Is it Brightwing? On Expert, ADRD drafted Brightwing and Tacita together often. He loved that combo.
I think they're going to substitute Uther maybe with Rhaegar, but I would say so far, considering their drafts and the patterns they've shown today, I feel on this map Tacita excels even more. Malfurion taken, late potential pick still on Tacita, so they can but they don't have to. Could even be something where Fnatic all of a sudden says, you know what, we might ban him out here.
Yeah. Lucio normally is one that you go with Arthas here, but with Malfurion being picked up, you don't have to worry about that.
On a different map, I would have said at this point you are thinking about potentially banning out Tracer, but on Infernal Shrines, I'm not sure if I would really be that worried about it, especially if you already run Gul'dan and you have Uther here as well. Once the Tracer gets close, if you drop the Horrify and she doesn't dodge it with her E, you get out of this one.
Sonya's still a possibility. Comboed with Arthas, great. Malfurion.
Before ban Sonya, I ban the Haka.
Yeah.
Unless I want to pick him. Unless they say we are picking the Haka. They have the next two picks, so they could simply say we are going into the Haka ourselves. Because as we said before, the Zealots have picked the Haka in the 3 previous games. The only game where they didn't pick the Haka was the first one, and that was in Battlefield, where Sonya gets even more pressure against the Immortal. They don't want to go into the Diablo combo again, where we see the Hanzo arrow followed by an Apocalypse, so they're trying to shut the Wombo combo down.
Would you run that with an Arthas? Diablo, Arthas, Hanzo? Yeah, could be deadly.
I mean, it emphasizes the Wombo combo even more. You have a harder time getting out of it, even if it's not perfectly aligned. So Arthur's already strong on the Shrine itself, and that's also a hero that Zarmani can perfectly play. That's the beauty of having Arthurs this early in the draft. They keep themselves flexible because they can either play Arthurs on Mopsy or they can simply shift it over to Zarmani.
Genji being hovered as a ban here for the Zealots, keeping that Hanzo alive, making it easier for them to hold them. They don't really have the Uther to bring in that stun, so Genji can get back there a little bit easier if he's able to get past the root from the Malfurion. And it would be a safe ban here.
Still that Anubarak. I don't blame them. Fnatic has... Again, they only lost one single game with Anubarak, and it was one of the previous games today. It was on Sky Temple. Sky Temple was the only game so far that Fnatic has lost with Anub. The aggression that comes with him and the setup for kills is just great in Fnatic's hands, and I don't blame the Zealots at all for trying to get rid of this. Think about how much of an impact Anubarak had on the last map alone, just providing the skill potential the entire time.
Well, tank coming in for Fnatic. No Diablo, which you would see on Infernal Shrines because it's been banned out. Anubarak banned out here from Zealots. Murden's been picked up often against Arthas in the last couple of days, helping out the Stormbolt, being able to get away from the fight has been instrumental. But is this the time that we finally have the ETC come out?
I was thinking about the same thing. Do you pick ETC here? The one problem that I have with ETC is that Arthas and Murden are a great combo because the Frozen Tempest emphasizes your level 7. So you have even more punch on the auto attacks. You have two very, very beefy tanks at the front. And if you only have ETC against that, you are going to struggle with it. So I'm not sure if against this base that the Zealots have established with Arthas and with Malfurion, if ETC would really be the pick. So simply because he can still be exploited, but they go for him. Tigers to burn the tanks down, and they choose ETC. Breeze is amazing on ETC, but I have to admit that I expected them to think about Murder more so than ETC in this setup now.
Well, now they have the engage they want. They have the Divine Shield into a Mosh Pit. Could be scary. There's also still the option, based on what Zealots picks up, that they could rotate into ETC being for Bad Benny with Sage Dive and get another tank, and it's still an option.
I'm still waiting for the Tassadar pick. What else could ADRD now play here? I haven't even given it too much thought since I'm just so set on them going for Tassadar again. Just feels like this is the hero that he's been taking the entire time. Let's be honest, he could be on Hanzo again.
Yeah.
If they feel they're not taking Tassadar, the last time we saw them on Infernal Shrines, ADRD was the one playing Hanzo, and they shifted Chris on the second damage dealer, so that's still an option for them too.
Would Chromie be too crazy here?
Reckoning is at hand.
I'm not sure if I would get her. I mean, they go for Tassadar, but just to complete that thought, I don't really think that Chromie is necessarily the best pick in this situation, also against Uther.
I don't know. I like the poke against an Uther. Good against Gul'dan. Tychus' range is pretty small. Hard for him to get in there and get the kill. But
you have the cleanse against Temporal Loop, so you're playing around Shifting Sands more than anything else, which on this map has a lot of value. Arthur's Tyrael is pretty strong though, and again the double support.
There it is.
It's the meta clash. Double support against solo support. 2-2 so far.
Final pickup for Fnatic. We're looking at Bad Benny's hero if he's not playing the ETC. Leo's been a go-to lately for a lot of our teams.
I actually am right now starting to get into a position where I am not loving Leo as much anymore.
Yeah?
He is strong on Infernal Shrines though, but I feel with how they've been calling today, I would like the Haka a bit more.
I don't mind the Leo against the Arthas, but it's Blaze.
Blaze, for the first time in the last game, they picked Blaze. I can get behind that too.
Yeah, we've seen the last couple days how he can be played by Wubby and Alex the Prodigy, what he brings to the table. Great for Shrine, clearing out the minions, being able to double soak, but also come in for the flanks in that back line. If he can get towards Hanzo and keep him at bay, it's good for the team as well. Just a matter of, is Bad Benny ready to deliver?
Blaze is 4-2 in Europe. He's 2-0 in Korea. Hasn't been played in North America yet. So overall sitting at a 75% win ratio with 8 games played. This is going to be game number 9 for him globally, ignoring China. But yeah, I like Blaze. I like Blaze as the setup. We've seen these stun into stun combos that worked out really well so far, so I can absolutely get behind that. I feel Fnatic has a great comp. I like Tychus as well to just burn down the tanks at the front line a bit. So I can totally get behind this. I'm really very interested to see how that works out. But I also want to say one more thing. What feels a bit weird to me is I've been mentioning Dehaka.
Sure.
And we always talked about Fnatic having a huge affinity to global heroes. They haven't played Dehaka once. Not one time.
Might be a hero Bad Bunny doesn't want to play.
Could be.
No.
And we might be absolutely wrong on this, that they're just saying, well, it doesn't really fit, we have a different game plan right now. But comparing it, when we're talking about the new teams, we always compare to the previous year.
Sure.
And last year, it was Dehaka City for them.
Everywhere.
Ubi was on the heroes so many times. So it's something that we should at least keep our eye on to find out, okay, do they just feel that in these games that they played so far, he didn't fit? Or do they all of a sudden say, hey, Benny isn't really comfortable enough on the hero to play him in this setup? So for now, Blaze is being played, but Dehaka for Fnatic is definitely something that we still wait to see. And maybe next week we'll deliver, but for now it's all about game number 5.
No dinosaur, but we got a fire bat. It's time for game number 5. It's all for the marbles here as we head into it. Zealots taking on Fnatic. Winner takes all.
Game number 5, the final map, and it is Infernal Shrines. To the left, the leftovers. Nope, the Zealots with Mopsio and Tyrael. I have problems with team names today. Zomini on Arthas, ADRD on Tassadar, Shat on Malfurion, and Chris on Hanzo.
We all have problems, Caldor. It's what makes us human. On the right side in the red, Bad Benny playing Blaze, Quatnix on Tychus, Mene on Gul'dan, Smexy on Uther, and Breeze playing ETC.
For Fnatic, it is the 3rd time they play Infernal Shrines in HGC 2018. They have 2 games on the map so far, and they won both of them. On the other hand, the Zealots have only played Infernal Shrines once, and it was a loss. So right now we're going to see how it's going to work out in this match. It's the most important one of all for them today. What an insane series it has been. And we have on Blaze, again, Neural Stimpack taken. The cooldown reduction that we are seeing on the level 1, the activatable.
That really allows for you to win your lane heavily when you are playing Blaze. Clearing out the minions quickly, popping that allows you to take trades as you heal up right away. Quite an annoying level 1. And if you don't have any major bursts in the opposing team that you have to deal with, it's a great pickup to have, especially if you're sitting in the middle of a battle.
Blaze, as I said before, was played 4 times, or has 4 wins in Europe so far. He was played 6 times. He won 4 of these games and lost 2. We have 3 wins by Tricked Esports, 2 losses by Diamond Skin, and Dignitas played him once on Tomb of the Spider Queen, where he was also victorious. This is the first time that we see the hero played by Fnatic, and we have him now at the top lane going up against Arthas. He's been played with a few different builds here. Oil Spill has been a staple on level 4 in particular, but that disregarding the level 7 talent is where most of the teams start to differ a bit. Are they going into the Oil Spill quest, trying to get the extra damage and extra duration, or is it more about the auto attacks, the AoE, and the wave clear?
Zealot's feeling a little spicy there, getting aggressive. But the real win there isn't taking away the mercenary camp. They're forcing Fnatic to bring 5 people down with redemption stacks. Hanzo getting a nice amount there, grabbing a couple in the engage, getting at a total of 5. He's almost halfway there to where he needs to be to get that attack speed. So nice little trade-off there for Zealots.
Benny, in the meantime, some heroes just want to see the world burn, and he's doing a great job up at the top lane to make that a reality. We have them closing in on level 4, but at this moment, it's really about every single moment can decide this game. If you get one team wipe, one good team fight, it can snowball you, especially on a map like Infernal Shrine. So right now we are looking towards Gul'dan at level 10 in particular. We're going to see how can those Horrifies be used. We have again a double support composition on the side of the Zealots with Tassadar that they used in every single game today. The 5th game and the 5th time that the Zealots have chosen Tassadar. They're going full NA today, taking a page out of North America's play, where Tassadar has seen an enormous amount of games played this weekend.
For me, I'm actually a bit curious how they're going to play around Odin. When Odin gets popped after level 10 around the Shrine phase, you typically give up a good 15 to 25 of those minions as Tychus clears that up. And most teams will disengage, re-engage, and come back in. What is the way for Zealots to disengage? You have the Malfurion route, but do we get the possibility of maybe a Force Wall? I'm thinking no, because they need more damage, but they need tools to get away.
I want to know what Blaze is going for on 10. We have seen Combustion, and that is, I would say, so far the talent where most Blaze players have agreed this is the way to go. But you can make arguments for Bunker if you just want to survive through certain attempts of your opponent and get the extra armor as well. We have seen that played once, so that could be the case. At this point, though, massive engage going straight for Mopsio here. Tyrael is in trouble. He gets out barely. Quatnix with a grenade, but he cannot confirm the kill.
Can't confirm the kill, but at least Mopsio's taken out for now. Shad will top him off in healing. Arthas just stays in the top, though. Zealots were going to give up this to begin with. They weren't looking to grab this shrine. They just wanted to defend and keep pushing on the opposing lanes and get experience. And Zarmany is doing just that. Breaking through the gate wall here and already working on turret.
Yeah, he's doing a great job up there at the top. And in the meantime, Blaze is making his way over to ensure that his team doesn't lose out on the entire wave. Fnatic is actually willing to wait this out here. They are already at 39, so Zealots is attempting to force their hand by simply starting the shrine themselves, but eventually Fnatic is going to pick up the last minion and then move through with the Punisher. They can rotate Blaze down if they want to, but now they don't have to. They keep him up at the top and soak the experience, but Bad Benny is already thinking about moving down. Gets dismounted here, that just feels bad. Punisher is pushing through at the bot lane, and we already have Arthur setting up for a flank. Breeze is waiting for him. Great move by him, good anchor, but Quacknix is still in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, DRD takes a big hit on the backside. We do have Blaze coming in around the corner with a good jet propulsion. He can get on top of that Arthas, and he jumps on, slows him down for the moment. Zarmany trying to retreat back and will get away. The Punisher joins the fight again, though, and Chris will have to hop over to get away from Quacknix.
Yeah, Punisher jumped in as well and did some solid work here. So Zealots, they get out of this one, and they don't lose too much. They lose the front wall and a bit of experience, but that was a close call at several instances. Once that we had Blaze coming in and going straight for the jet propulsion and the quick stun, that could have led to a kill. Our question from the early game has also been answered, by the way. On level 7, we don't see the Alex the Progi, the Trick Esports build. Instead, we're seeing Grill and Kill being used. So it's all about the stacks right now on the oil spill. All about trying to get the extra duration and also the extra damage, which is going to come very handy for late game shrine fights.
Mopsio taking a bit of a beating here on the side, goes in for the engage anyways, with a big root coming in from Shad. They are able to get Breeze low on health, but he survives thanks to Smexy being healed up in his own armor. Arthas versus Blaze in the top lane is actually going pretty well so far for Zarmany.
Shad is actually such an amazing player. His transition into support has really paid off already. He's done so many cool things for his team, and you can't expect perfection from him right away after switching into this role, but the level of play that he already showcases in the support role is fantastic. And he is still extremely critical of himself. During this series, he actually jumped on Twitter after they lost one of the games and said immediately, I screwed up the Divine Shield, I did not cancel out Cocoon with it, and that loss is on me. So he is very critical of his own performance here and can still get way better. This guy is an absolute fantastic player and has the best mindset that you can have in this game.
Well, someone he can be proud of is his teammates here as they get a pinch on the top on Bad Benny, locking him into a corner. There was no way for Blaze to escape that fight. And that gives Zealots a little 10 earlier before their opponents. Sadly, not much for them to grab on the map except for a Merc camp on the bottom that Fnatic is already primed to grab themselves.
And Fnatic is timing it, so that's really cool from them to see here as well. They wait for the announcement of the shrine. They want to make sure that they get max value out of it. Now we're having Zealots grabbing a camp on their own, and that might force their hand. But we have our heroic abilities, and it is Combustion. It's a talent that we've seen most of the time played on Blaze on level 10. Also, just to give you a bit of an idea about the progress of our quest talents, we currently have on level 1 for ETC, 15 stacks on Prog Rock. We have 50 on the Wave of Light for Uther, 15 for Echoed Corruption, so not completed yet. Arthas has 5 on Frost Presence, and ADRD is also still working on the Psy Infusion on level 1, currently sitting at 750. The only one that has completed is the Redemption Quest on Hanzo for now for Chris, as we have the second shrine of the game spawning on the map, and this time it's a fight with heroics.
Still a fast storm finish there for ADRD, trying to get towards 1,000, only about 206 away now as he hits 794, so hope he finished that pretty quickly, getting the extra range and of course the extra damage on that Psy Storm that is impactful, especially around the shrine phase as you clear up the minions, but also poke your opponents and try to soften them up.
I really like, by the way, the late game shrine potential that Fnatic has. If you complete with Blaze the Grill and Kill on level 7 and you have also Echoed Corruption, the amount of damage you can push out with AoE alone is fantastic. We all know how great it is with Arthas on the shrine and also Malfurion trying to use these roots and choke points to either block an escape or lock someone down, but Fnatic has a lot of potential in the late game. Mosh Pit with Divine Shield on Tyrael, and he goes down. Nice combo, perfectly executed by Fnatic. An attempt to turn it around by the Zealots as they go in. Bad Benny needs to be a bit cautious here, but it seems like he can move out. Or can he? No, he cannot.
Wow.
Race is destroyed, and Gul'dan follows as the Zealots are turning the fight around.
Yeah, Chris snakes around the side and secures those kills. Quite nice popping Odin on the back right, which is going to allow for them to deal with the Punisher, but with them losing 2 members, he has to run away, and Zealots have moved in here on the Arcane Punisher and is now taking a lead on minions and shut down the engage from Fnatic.
And the big problem is that they lost Gul'dan. Without Gul'dan dying, it's a different story, but he falls, and that means they can't poke from the outside. So even though they were already heavily ahead in the minion stacks, they're going to lose out on this one. They were 22-8, but it is the Zealots that grab it, and they have a level lead, and they have the talent. They have level 13 talents now. Fnatic finds themselves in trouble.
And Fnatic has to be careful. An arrow is up in 3 seconds. The next Punisher jump can set up Hanzo to engage, Howling Blast to follow up into a root, and that's usually going to be a dead target, even if it's ETC on that breeze. So they'll be careful here. They're kiting backwards, not allow that Punisher to jump yet until they get towards the wall.
Big win for the Zealots. Big win here. The experience lead alone is absolutely amazing for them. Having the early 13, having the ability to transition to the top lane, dropping another fort. Structural perspective on the map looks great for them. They have taken away the mid fort already. They are about to take away the top fort. Even if they don't kill it now, they already destroyed the well. There is no opportunity for Fnatic during the next Shrine phase to move in and top the hit points off and to simply reset the fight. Very well done. There goes the fort. That's the experience that they needed. They are more than a level ahead. Zealots, great start into the game, and they are ahead now in the 5th game of the map.
And they're not stopping. Evading onto Fnatic's Mercenaries on the side here, have that pushing in the middle, just again trying to keep things away from Fnatic to answer back. Fnatic beelines over, wanted to hopefully get in the fight, but it's already done. Mercenaries have been taken away. The next one to be the south. If anyone shows in the middle to be clearing out those Mercenary camps, Zealots will be able to grab bottom and start working on the fort.
As we said before, the late game situation for Fnatic is actually pretty solid. The problem is that right now, that snowball potential that I've been alluding to earlier in the game is coming into play for the Zealots, and that might be what, yeah, that might be all they need here. One more level and they have 16 talents.
Yeah. Fnatic, of course, when they get 16 themselves, will be just as deadly, finishing up a few of their talents, but the Zealots are well on their way, a full level away, compared to Fnatic being 2.5 from that 16. There will be a Shrine activated before that 16 hits.
Yeah, and again, Chris just on Hanzo the entire time, doing so much work. It's pretty crazy. This team prioritizes Hanzo like no other in Europe, and they are doing extremely well with it, especially now that they've thrown Tacita into the mix, as did North America. Half a level away from 16. Fnatic trying to find value at the bot lane. If they can take structures down, that would be the absolute dream. That would be the best way for them to get some experience points here, because that next Shrine is going to be set up really soon. They go for the mosh pit with the Divine again. They're trying to get the kill. This time against Arthas. Can they get it? Combustion already used. Fnatic moving out. Horrify being used. Sarmony is still alive. Bad Benny is in trouble.
Here comes
Gets
Tyrael.
cleansed, and he goes down, and in the backline, Tyrael is already waiting.
Yes, he moves right in, drops down the smite for the movement speed, getting in there a little bit closer. Smexy is going to be able to get away to safety, but the Zealots have their Arthas engaged upon, a Divine Shield mosh pit, but what allowed for them to turn that fight around was the Hanzo arrow and the Archon. Hanzo arrow connected on the back right to hit Gul'dan, and Tychus preventing them putting damage into Zarmony on the Arthas, and then the Archon damage splashing onto multiple targets, making them back away. Gul'dan had to use Horrify just to make sure he wouldn't get destroyed.
Fnatic is in so much trouble. The trade of the death timer into a big cooldown is of course something we can talk about, but if you consider that Mosh Pit is also down, that's another big aspect. They only wait for Archon right now. Odin is still up, but the problem is without the level 16 talent, you still don't want to fight into this. Fnatic is in a world of trouble right now, and it looks more and more likely that the Zealots will get their first match win today. They are not there yet, but they're definitely making the right moves. And Fnatic is saying, okay, there is just no chance that we are going to get this Punisher. We can't fight for it. Let's try and get structures. Let's try and get 16 so that we can at least defend.
They'll be able to get 16 in the top. They scouted out Tyrael. Tyrael was able to escape. But that means they'll have an idea of where Fnatic is completely, and they bring all the resources to the bottom. And they're mounting a push without the Punisher just to open the keep wall. And they get the keep wall, the Punisher threatens keep.
Yeah, the Punisher is threatening keep. 16 is still a necessity, and it's not there yet. But the top lane is still pushing, and they have a camp. So that camp could deliver more experience if it gets the structure, but that is going to take quite some time. And in the meanwhile, we have Fnatic just sitting there and saying, guys, this is hurting. They pop Odin early. They want to just make sure that they are pushed back because, as you said, Zealots, they want to keep now. They're saying, guys, let's hit them while it hurts.
They have to play careful with Holy Ground here and a Punisher. This allows the Punisher to go in. Big arrow coming out from Chris. It's on top of Odin. Horrify used to keep his teammates alive. Mopsio has been horrified, but he is still fine and alive. Malfurion gets caught in the Divine Shield mosh pit. Will he fall? The Ice Block to keep him alive. He dodges the Power Slide.
And immediately the Punisher jumps on Breeze, and this is actually a problem for him. He's getting chased here, baits it into the middle. The Keep is about to fall. Fort at the top lane has also been destroyed. That means 16 is ready for Fnatic and allows them to have a chance to go into these fights. But the Punisher goes for the core, and the Zealots are actually moving with it. They're going for Smexy, and Uther dies. Still has, of course, the Ghost form around and can provide the heals. Can they kill Zarmany? They cannot. They are not getting close enough to him. Breeze is trying to cut the path of retreat off, but the Zealots are moving out without losing a single hero here.
Fnatic defends the core at least. They did lose Uther, but at least they hit 16 and they're not out of the game yet. The camp in the top left did do some damage. It pushed in the fort and it's already working on a keep wall, but all said and done, Zealots come out heavily ahead here. 18.5 experience, 17 almost for Fnatic, and 20 looming around the corner.
For Fnatic, it's about trying to get a fight before 20. Get a good fight before 20. The Zealots are going to sit back, try to soak experience. If they see a chance, they're going to jump on it. But outside of that, they will try and play this safe. They have 5 kills against 1. They're looking stellar. They're looking fantastic. Main has not completed his level 1 quest yet. He's still 3 stacks away from completing Echoed Corruption. Same is, by the way, true for Zarmany on Arthas. Frost Presence has also not been completed. He's sitting at 13 stacks at this point. But outside of that, Fnatic has great chances in big team fights, but not if they are talent behind. And they have lost the keep. And as you can already see, the next shrine will be at the top lane. So that's a horrible spot for Fnatic to be in. Their bottom lane is going to constantly push against them. And the Zealots, therefore, will be able to play for time if they want to.
They could try and slow down that catapult push by grabbing the mercenary camp and also getting this fort and having a wave hold it down. But at that point, Zealots will be level 20. Things are not looking good if you're a Fnatic fan right now. They are going to push in and work on this fort to get that experience with Mopsio. He wants to stop it. He goes in for a Holy Ground.
There they go, immediately, and down goes Tychus. Tychus is dead, Breeze is low, gets the Divine Shield, Smexy gets isolated, and that could be game. 3 heroes down already. Gul'dan has fallen too. They go for Bad Benny. The Holy Ground isolates him as well. With 4 heroes dead, this is the opportunity that the Zealots were waiting for. They are in to win it. They're going for it. Mopsio has said it. Overrated. Great move by Breeze to buy time. Sacrificing himself, but he's trying to buy some time here. He gets killed. Did he buy enough time for his teammates to come back? It's doubtful, but he did what he could.
10 seconds. Tychus will be up. Zealots at level 20, and they're pushing straight for the core. All nice and healthy, too. If they get it down to at least 6%, and even if everyone gets cleaned up, Tyrael can finish the game. Finally, Tychus spawns, but it's looking like it's going to be too late. The core begins to fall, 60, 50, 40, and the Zealots come in on this Sunday, not having a single win in a match, and they earn a victory over one of the biggest here in Europe, Fnatic.
Great play by the Zealots. Really well done here. Great play on the last map. Good coordination. The first objective got them ahead. Second one, actually. Really well done. Very impressive, too.
Yeah.
That was quite something. Winning the games in the fashion in which they did it, very impressed by them. And Fnatic a bit too trigger happy there in the last fight. They were already on the back foot, 2 levels behind. They have to do something. Quacknix goes a bit too deep. They didn't finish that fort off. They were fighting at the fort, and the idea was take the fort down and then we can take the fight. But they took so long that at some point Quacknix stepped forward because he's like, I need to take this down.
Yeah.
Breeze is attempting to flank them. If he flanks in while the fort is still there and he gets hit, he's slowed, he's an easy target, so he goes a little bit too far outside. Drops his immediate Odin as he's trying to survive since they saw the jump coming. But at that point, it was just too much. And the Zealots, they said, like, well, boys, thank you very much. We're going to take this one. They eliminated everyone. Breeze with a Hail Mary attempt to get a 4-man, 5-man mosh pit off, just simply to delay them. But even that could not help. The death time was too long, and the Zealots claim victory.
Zealots, a team that looked good on paper coming into 2018, missing out on their first 2 matches, 0 and 2, but they have finally found that cohesion that we were looking for, and they delivered today in one of the biggest matches they needed to deliver on, a 3-2 victory, and they could have been in a spot where they've even beaten Team Liquid in the past. So Zealots, definitely a team to keep your eye on as we continue to move through the 2018 season, as they just have this roster that is really delivering. Chris today on Hanzo just made sure to follow up on those huge arrows, landing them on multiple members, hitting 3 to 4, and allowing the teams to force fights. Gotta love what he showed today.
And we said that at the first weekend, that even though the Zealots lost both of their matches, they looked really good and could win. And coming into this, everyone was talking about how it's going to be the most stacked phase of Heroes of the Storm, of HGC, and that's definitely true. And now with Fnatic losing a game against Zealots, that throws a big question mark onto everything, because right now everything's up for grabs. We were talking about Dignitas being a top spot, Fnatic the second, the 2 teams that will dominate the rankings, and then the 4 that will try and make sure that they either go to the offline event or avoid the Crucible. And right now, everything's possible.
And now suddenly Dig is in a spot where they can solidify themselves as the #1 team here in HGC, as they'll be facing off against Method next. And that'll be the final series here for Europe on this weekend, and I'm looking forward to that one, because you know Dig wants to come in and secure that spot, but Method at the same time has been putting up some impressive games themselves. So today ends with a bang, and it's already been a great start.
Yeah, 5 games are always a pleasure, and this was a bit of an unexpected result. I thought they were coming for a fight, and I thought, okay, they have a chance here, but that was still really cool to see.
I thought they would steal wins away, not command wins, and they commanded a few today. And I still believe that the 2-man Spider Queen map goes anywhere different, or the map before that, they're just a 3-0, straight up, right away. So really impressive job here from the Zealots.
I mean, then again, to be fair, it could have also been a victory for Fnatic on Sky, where it was literally 2 points on the court.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of these games that were insanely close. The first one with the core rush, on the last one where you have the race. So it was cool moments for both teams where it could have gone a different way.
Fnatic, man. They're going to be thinking about this one as they get ready for next week. But we're getting ready to talk to Shad on the phone as soon as he is available to hop on Skype and have a conversation with us. I'm sure he's very excited, trying to figure out how to plug in his webcam, you know, shaking. We got to be over Fnatic. Feels good, man. Shad, again, we were talking about him improving as a player for support player, but him and Zelia are the supports that have came in and changed their roles and have delivered in their roles. And let's go ahead and talk to Shad now. Shad, congratulations on your big victory today. You guys have beaten Fnatic. Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's really amazing. Like,
very
amazing.
Expected
at all. We were coming in thinking, okay, let's try our best. Let's try to take maps from them. Maybe we can win it, but we won it, so amazing.
Well, you guys played a lot of Tassadar today. I got to ask you, is Tassadar back, or is this more of a flavor for you guys?
Honestly, I don't know. We really like the hero. I don't know if we will see it on more teams, but cannot tell you much about that. I don't know if the other teams will pick it a lot or not.
Awesome. Over to Caldor.
First of all, congratulations. You guys played fantastic today. Had a lot of fun, especially with that Hanzo ult into the Diablo flavor on Sky. Yeah. That was a lot of fun to watch. But I have a bit of a different question, a bit more of a personal thing for you. You switched over into the support role, and you've been a bit critical of your own performance today on Twitter even. You came out and said, hey, I should have Divine Shielded at Cocoon. How do you feel in your role at this point? Where do you feel you're going with this? Are you already on your max? Do you think you can even improve more? How much of an influence do you have on the game? So how do you feel about being support?
I mean, I feel good. I like the role. I think I have a lot to improve, because every day I play the game, and every day I see, okay, I do this mistake, and every day I improve a little bit more. I still have a lot to do, a lot to play, because I just switched. And I don't know, I think I can still grow a lot as a support and get a lot better and help my team a lot more and do less mistakes, because everyone does mistakes.
What is the biggest challenge for you when you switched over? Is it positioning as a support? Is it having an eye on your cooldowns? What was the biggest challenge when you made the switch?
Honestly, I don't know. I think if I had to say one, I would say my positioning is the biggest. But I think overall, I'm slowly adapting and trying to get better on it. So, trying my best.
Okay. One more question just about the atmosphere in the team a little bit, because we heard a lot of teams talking about how you guys have a lot of potential, but everybody said, well, there might be a bit of a conflict with Mopsio being in the team and ADRD, that there's a bit of conflict potential. Also, Mopsio is known to be sometimes a bit of a hothead. So when something like the first map happens, where all of a sudden you guys lose to that core attempt from Fnatic, is there Is there anything where you guys have to calm the situation down, or are you easily able as a team to shrug it off and say, okay, let's ignore that, let's focus on the next one?
To be honest, we were able to really ignore that pretty well.
Okay.
Like we talked a bit about it, but we kind of went like, okay, just forget it, go next game, and that's all. Like after the first 2 losses on the HGC, our morale was a bit down,
Mhm.
obviously, but I think this was the thing we needed to raise up, get our morale up, and start improving a lot, and I don't know, being high.
Yeah, you definitely have reason to. It was a great series today. So yeah, thank you very much.
Well, so far you
Thank
guys have
you,
had
sir.
a bit of a tough road when it comes to your matches. You faced off against Tricked, Team Liquid, Fnatic, and next it's Method. What are you guys gonna do to prepare for that matchup?
Honestly, we prepared exactly the same. We will play, screams, do our best to win. If we want Fnatic, we can beat Method.
Okay. Well, I want to hear your early thought. Do you think Dignitas or Method's gonna win the next matchup?
I think Dignitas.
Dignitas all the way. Awesome. Well, the floor is
Yeah.
yours for shoutouts. Thank you very much, Chad, and congratulations on your big victory today.
Thanks. So I want to shout out to all my teammates. They played really well today. Shout out to all our fans. And we're still looking for our organization. So if you want to keep in touch with, get in touch with us, you can contact me at ShotHeroes in Twitter or our Twitter at ZealotsHots.
Awesome. Check them out, guys. Need a sponsor? Get them. They are dominating so far. Today, they really killed it. Had a couple of great matches in the earlier weeks, too.
Thank
This
you.
is a
See ya.
team that we will continue to keep an eye on as we continue to progress through the phase here. Good win here for Zealots. Gotta feel good for them.
Yeah, they played great today. And for Fnatic, that feels pretty bad. And
Yeah.
we said there were a couple, they play on some of the maps, they played really well. And then on others, they had very obvious flaws that in the past they just didn't have. And they have to go back to the drawing board and just talk about it and say, okay, what happened there? And make sure that it doesn't happen again. Because let's face it, Zealots able to take them down is a big upset for Fnatic, and their plan was from the get-go to go to BlizzCon and win BlizzCon. And they said from the start, we might suffer at the beginning. There's a good chance that we are struggling at the first few weeks, that we're struggling maybe even at the offline events. But our goal is not to go to the next Western Clash. Our goal is to improve to an extent where we can win BlizzCon, and we are willing to put in the time. But as we can see right now, they still have to put some time in to get there. We have seen great play from them in the first few matches that they played, but we've also